leaving a positive legacy, how we can jam together and give back to create a sustainable world. So, we think about sustainability, we think about kind of a robust, healthy economy that has social justice and a healthy environment. And, music is really unique in its ability to bring all of that together and then to inspire and to educate and to mobilize people. So, how do you all think that the music community can breed a consciousness for positive social and environmental change?
I guess big picture-wise, music, I think, is an inspirational medium in general, and I think that it inspires people to follow their truth and follow what speaks to them, and it gives them kind of a sense of freedom, maybe outside of the if, for example, you work in the corporate system, or you might work in an industry that's got a massive carbon footprint, and you decide to come on Jam Cruise because it's something for your soul, your spirit, something that is a change for you, and that gives you a different perspective on life. I think this is a great forum, and music in general is a great forum to at least discuss these issues and bring them up so people can try to integrate them into their lives. And
the musicians that were there to earn an income, and the people came for the musicians. While they were there, they learned something about what was going on. And I am assuming that that's what this is all about, is trying to get the information out. So the more people that we actually talk to, the better our chances of getting that footprint or making that footprint lighter. Because I don't think that's going to ever go away. Just looking at the way we have decided we want to live. My granddaughter gives me crap all the time, when she get in my truck, and I'm riding in the truck and I have my air conditioner on and I have the windows turned down, and she's, "Grandpa, what's that all about?" So I mean, that's, I'm a part of that. I'm not a part. Well, how you say, I'm a part of the problem. I'm not the solution at this point. I mean, and it's harder. I'm thinking that at 62, it's going to be harder for me to change very much. But I'm always happy to be a part of the concept of change.
It's a good point, and I think a lot of the artists are mentioning, there was just a shout out for the solar and the wind system on the pool deck, and everyone cheers, and next thing you know, there's people coming up and talking to us at the table and buying carbon offsets for themselves. This year we have more sold than last year, which was more than the year before. So every year it's just a raising of awareness. More and more people are wanting to support it, and there's more ways to support it. And yeah, artists are artists. They play music. They make people happy, and they raise awareness. And there is a level of where you can share knowledge with the medium and the places you go and the people you interact with. But I hear what you're saying. I mean, it's not part of your job. This is part of our job. We all have our role.
I think, at least myself, as musicians, we probably struggle with this every day. We have to offset our carbon with the amount of joy that we bring to people and music and inspiration.
I think the crux of the issue is about our lifestyles. And, when we really look at sustainability, we need to find a way to stop depleting the resources of the planet. And we all need to just be more conscious about our everyday choices. Do we really need that plastic bag when we buy 1 or 2 items? Do we really need to, drive 5 blocks to go to the store? Do we need to leave our computers on all day? We really need to think about the resources that we're consuming and reduce the amount of resources that we use every day, and through simple choices. There's a million opportunities every day for every one of us to reduce our consumptive habits.
Thanks.
Well, when I think about that, and what's most important to me, in life as I travel through, is right livelihood, and so that's all about lifestyles. And I think it does start right at home, and walking your talk. And, so our tour bus recycles in the back lounge, and when I find now that we have, 4 times as much recycled trash as we do. So I thank Scarecrow for implementing the new riders recycling policy, but also what I do, and I've been very fortunate to be involved in many aspects of the music business, and I give thanks because that's right livelihood for me, and it helps. I'm not a musician, but it helps to set up the musicians to bring joy to people. And I think when we dance, we lift our spirits higher. And so, that's the part of the world I want to be connected to. And so it's also where I spend my energy, the energy I use. That's what I try and do with my life that's most important, as I teach my family, and this has become a huge family. And so I find that, like the musicians, that people look up to me and my family. And so when they see me pick up trash or support the greening or, speak out for, peace and justice in the world, and, and it becomes political. And so I think I feel good to be a servant, of the universe to raise our consciousness up. And that's most important to me, right livelihood.
I like to think that what we have come to in this point in our lives is that we have to figure out a way to teach our younger people, provided that there's enough to save, how to save it. Because my generation and before have done a damn good job of destroying it. People that I think that you really need to be addressing this to are the younger people, because that's the ones that's going to save it. They're the ones that's going to save whatever we left them. Because if they continue on the route that we've been doing, then they're not. There won't be a great grandchild that has anything to see from my neighborhood. Because my grandchild will be destroyed it. What we left her.
Yes, I agree with whatever everyone has been saying, and I think there's two things. Okay? There's individual choices that you make every day yourself, and there's the political ones that you vote for, once in a while, okay? So the individual choices that you can make every day, I have a phone, right, iPhone, and there's a application, it's called Better World Shopper. Okay, you can go on, get it. It's a free app. Okay, it's probably made for other phones too, and they also have a book. I've discovered it actually on Jam Cruise. They were for free in the Artist Lounge last year or the year before. But this guy, he got his PhD, I think, creating this whole system. It's thousands of points of information about all these different companies, and they breaks it down. Just thousands of points of information, breaks it down into a grading system, A through F. Okay? So whenever you're in a store, even if you're buying a bottle of water, you at a truck stop or whatever, we're musicians on tour, and you go in there and it's like, you can pick a water that is either an F, that is associated with a company that is actively destroying the environment and has bad social practices, or you can pick a bottle of water that has a A or a B. That's something that is, a less impact on the environment. So I use this thing almost every day. It takes 2 seconds. I just look in there, I'm buying this, buying that, and boom. It's like I've made a choice, a decision that is helping. So that's an individual, that's a way that, how you spend your money is you can vote every day. How you spend, you can make a change with the way you spend your money. And then second of all is political thing, how you vote, what you vote for, okay? We as individuals and society don't collectively make good decisions regarding environmental practices on our own. It has to come from an organized thing. In Seattle, where I live, they just implemented no more styrofoam takeout stuff, okay? Restaurants weren't doing that themselves. People weren't going up to their restaurant when they're getting some to-go food like, oh, do you have an eco-friendly thing? I mean, that wasn't right. The city made it a law. You have to use biodegradable takeout stuff. No more styrofoam. No one thinks about it now. They're still getting their takeout. They're getting their, but now it's not, made from petroleum-based stuff. It's not styrofoam. It's not hurting the environment. It's this biodegradable corn stuff or whatever, That comes from a political thing, okay? So you got your individual stuff you do every day. You got your political thing that that can affect everyone at once, Boom.
Those are all very, very good answers. I mean, we got the financial piece covered, the awareness, education, future generations, individual choices. I mean, they're all important. There's no right or wrong answer to that question. But it really, for me, comes down to priorities. You know, changing the way that we prioritize our decisions, individual, global, community level, and so forth.
Yeah, I could speak to that a little bit. You know, from our level, Cloud9 Adventures has been, you know, very in tune with food consciousness. And so several years ago, we hired a food and beverage director, and Kelly View has gone on to take major role in this company and had a lot of interaction with MSC. And so, you know, first, you know, from a vegan and a vegetarian standpoint, you know, and a healthy food aspect, you know, we've beefed that up. But I really see, you know, as we first started the greening program to kind of have a healthy mind, you know, and an output, that MSC has picked up on everything we've done. And so I think we've had a big impact on the cruise industry and MSC, just from the towel reuse program, you know, on up the ladder to the whole way that we recycle food and beverage items, you know, bringing clean vibes on and teaching them how to sort garbage, you know, in a massive level like we do at festivals. And so we've brought, you know, what we know from our land-based, you know, music enterprises, you know, onto the ship into a microclimate that's building, you know, and I think we've had a large impact, you know, on, you know, food consciousness and sustainability.
My dream for the future would be for Jam Cruise and other music-oriented cruises and all cruises get to that point where it's all biodiesel fuel all year round. You're working with a cruise company that makes those choices, and all the food is organic. You know, and wherever the port of call is, it's locally culled from. You know, like some airlines are starting to do. You know, like bringing it all from Florida port. So that would be an amazing goal to get to.
What I'm saying is that there are organizations that musicians support. We go out and we come to these things, to these places, to, in other words, when people give these type of these concerts or things like the Roxbury concert, that was created for one reason and one reason only: to sell the green concept to a massive crowds of people. How do you get those people there? If you just were saying, hey, we're going to do this and invite all these people, they would not show. You know, they came because there were artists there that was going to shake your booty artists, and then somewhere in between all the time that you're shaking your booty, then someone can come up and talk to you about the change that they're trying to make. Okay? I don't believe that that's our job. Our job is to get you there, you know, and to keep you there, you know, and that's what I would really like to be able to do that.
It's about connecting the consciousness, and it's through music, through speech, through all of it.
I need help. Help!
You're good, George. I was just gonna say that these are the folks that then give people really concrete, you know, things to do immediately. You know, and even if it's right there, maybe if it's right when they leave the concert, or if there's a percentage of profits from the concert that go directly to, you know, an organization. So the artists can do what they do. They bring an audience. We have this interaction with the crowd, and there's a higher place that we can get to. You know, there's a real essence of interconnectedness, right? So more of this stuff, more of what you guys are doing, more concrete things that people can do immediately when they feel inspired, that they feel the love, they feel art, you know, and all these things coming together. Just more concrete things that they can do immediately when they're in that space.
I learned a long time ago, being part of the Richmond Earth Day stuff, being on the board, and we had our thing, and you know, we got 1,000 people, and mothers and children came out. But I first met Mark Brown, who I refer to as the admiral of this cruise, and he was doing music in Richmond, and so we married the Greater Richmond Environmental Action Trust and the music scene. And so then we had thousands of people come out to Earth Day, you know, because why? Because they were there for the music, they were there for the good vibe, they were there for the feeling. And so I think music and consciousness is just a great marriage. And so every musician, you know, brings to the table, you know, a little part of the consciousness, you know, through their playing, and just getting people together to share in that that conscious vibe, man. And so just being here is doing exactly, you know, bringing it together, you know.